Good day and welcome to the channel. As you can see, we've got this incredibly old HP Compaq, yes Compaq, 8000 Ultra Slim PC to operate with Windows 11 completely properly and legally. This machine is 20 years old. It was released in 2008. So not only does it not have the right trusted platform module and CPU, it's missing a whole pile of other hardware requirements. In fact, the CPU isn't just not on the supported list, it's actively not supported because it's missing a core function. But as you can see here, it's working fine. This is without a doubt one of the oldest computers to run Windows 11, probably anywhere in the world. And it's a pretty cool project. And the point of this is you can do this. You can keep your old junker computer out of the landfill and you can get it updated and get it functioning like a champ. We'll show you all of the steps. It's not rocket science. You can do it. Let's get to it right now. Now, we already have a few videos on how to do this with old machines. We've got one from a 2016 machine that we upgraded. And we've also one on a 2012 laptop that we've upgraded, both of which don't have the right hardware to run Windows 11. They don't have a trusted platform module, aka TPM, and their CPUs are too old to run it. But we've got it running and it's working great on those machines. Now you might say, well, if it's not supported, that's a problem. Well, you know what also isn't supported? Your Windows 10 or Windows 8 or whatever else you're running. So whatever you can get from Windows 11 is a huge upgrade to where you were. So let's show you the machine and we'll explain the process that we're going to go through, and then we're going to do the entire thing start to finish right now. So this is a machine that's so old, it actually has the word Compaq on it. And if you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. But if you're old enough, you'll know. So this is an HP Compaq 8000 Ultra Slim form factor computer. And it's so limited, it doesn't even have any slots in it to add in things like additional network cards or video cards. This is really limited. All I know about this is that the person that gave it to me told me that it was running Windows 10, that they got it upgraded. But this machine shipped with Windows 7. Yeah. Now, because it was running Windows 10, that's really the only real requirement we have for these old machines, because to get it to run Windows 11, you need to have a license, and licenses are expensive. But if the machine ever ran Windows 10, it will upgrade, including when we put a brand new hard drive in it, which we're going to do, seamlessly. It's going to work great. Now, you might be wondering, you said you're going to change the hard drive? Yeah, it's really easy to do. And the reason we're changing it isn't because it won't work with the spinning disk, but this spinning disk is 20 years old. It's beat. But much more importantly, it's literally a spinning disk. We're going to replace it with an ultra cheap solid state SATA drive that we have here. Now, I looked to see what the price of these are on Amazon. Usually I pick them up for these old computers like, $30 a piece and we're on our way. Well, it turns out with the shortage we're experiencing right now, thank you AI data centers, that these got a little more pricey. So I ended up buying this off of Facebook Marketplace from a guy for 20 bucks. And this is the only hardware change we're actually going to make. Let's get to it. That is one old box. Oh my God, PS2 ports. Just pulling the DVD out. Wow, this is loose enough I can do it with my fingers. I don't even need a screwdriver. Look at this, no PCI slots, but there are a couple of SO DIMM slots, but they're full. And there's no way we can get that memory anymore. It's just too old, I'm sure. So this is the biggest upgrade we could do. Now, while you have this apart, you should blow it out. Now, I can see the previous owner actually has done a pretty good job with this. If you don't have compressed air, which I usually have, but don't have handy here, and it's pretty clean, at least just blow it out with your mouth. Just make sure all the components are free of dust and debris. And while you don't have to do this next step, I would, and I'm going to. See this little battery here? That is a CR2032. And they have a life. That's what keeps the BIOS settings, all the firmware settings. And on a machine this old, that's dead. I don't even have to check it. I just know it. So pop it out carefully so you don't break anything. Usually just prying up, yeah, there we go. Pry up that little plastic clip. You can buy these for about $1 pretty much everywhere, from dollar stores to Amazon if you buy them in bulk. All right, so we have the hardware already upgraded and ready to go. Now we just have to get Windows 11. How do we do that? Well, there's two paths here. Number one, if you have an Intel CPU that has the word Core I in it, like Core i3, Core i5, Core whatever, then we have a very simple process for you, and we'll show you that. If, however, you have what we have, which is something that's even older, a Core Duo, it doesn't have the I in it anywhere. So basically, CPUs that are 2008 and older, we have to do a bit of a dance. And I'll explain that in just a moment. But let's show you how normal people with machines that are newer than 2008, which is, I'm guessing 99% of people watching this video would go. Search for a product called Rufus, and it always comes up as the first hit. Click on download. And I always like to download the portable version, but you can download whatever version you want. All right, click on it, download it, let's run it. And you can see I've already plugged a USB stick in, which is what's showing up at the top here. I have a 32 gig stick plugged in to my computer. And in boot selection, it's asking you what you want to put on this USB stick. Well, we don't have it yet. How do you get it? Well, to the right of the select button, you'll see a little drop down and you can select download. Now, by the way, if you don't see that, what you have to do is click the settings button at the bottom and change check for updates to daily. Yeah, that's weird, I know, but you do. And then close Rufus, go back in, and boom, this drop down will show up. Anyway, it's probably there for you. So let's just go to download, click the button, select Windows 11, and it will bring up the most current build. We'll click continue, and then continue. And then, yes, in my case, English is the language I'm looking for. And x64, yes. And download. And now it's finished downloading that current version of Windows 11 25H2. In our case, in the future, it might be 26H2 or 27H2. Now, if your computer's not that old, just leave it at the partition scheme of GPT. If, however, you've got an ancient machine like we've got, select MBR, that's Master Boot Record. MBR will work on everything. GPT is better, but doesn't work on everything. So our system requires a master boot record. And then simply click start. And you'll see you'll get remove requirement for 4 gig RAM, secure boot and TPM2, remove requirement for Microsoft account. And I always like to turn on, or I guess turn off here, disable BitLocker for automatic device encryption. BitLocker is a great tool. It just does precious little for home users and it adds some complexity. So we simply make sure that this is checked on so that those functions are turned off. Click OK. And it says, hey, we're going to wipe out your USB stick. Yep, that's okay. Now, if you have one of those really old computers, like we have, with a CPU that is manufactured before 2008, which basically means anything that's older than an AMD K10, or anything that is not an I series in the Intel line. Let me explain that. Up to about 2008, Intel CPUs were called Intel Core. About 2008 is when they added I series. So you will see Intel Core i3, i5, i7, and so on and so forth. If your computer does not have an I in it, as far as the Intel name goes, a Intel Core i3, i5, i7, Windows 11 in the current iterations will not work. And that's because the latest build of Windows 11 absolutely requires a feature called POPCNT, POPCNT, and it's not something you can get around. So how do you get Windows 11 on one of these ancient machines? Not a problem. You simply need to get Windows 11 23H2, which is from 2023, the fall, H2, have to. And how do you get that? Because Microsoft doesn't have it available anymore. It's no problem. Go to a browser and put in this address, archive.org/details/win-11-23H2. Now, for those of you who don't know what the Internet Archive is, this is a legitimate site. It is not a hacking site. These guys copy everything on the internet on a very regular basis. All of the web pages, all of the downloads. So when something goes missing, you can still get it. I donate to these guys at least once a year. You don't even need to sign in. So just scroll down and you will see download options ISO. So click on ISO and you will get 23H2 coming down. And that's the version we need for this ancient HP 8000 desktop PC. So I'm going to click cancel on this because this is not the build that I need. It's probably the build you need, by the way, because your machine probably isn't as old as the one we're working on. Anyway, so what I need to do is I need to change the boot selection. I need to get the one that I just downloaded from archive.org, which is right here. And I need to make sure it's on the partition scheme of master boot record, then click start. And then it says, hey, this didn't come from Microsoft. It contains a UEFI bootloader that's been revoked. And you'll get a security violation. Yep, that's just fine. Click OK. And make sure you've got the same check marks here. Remove requirement for 4 gig RAM and secure boot. Remove requirement for Microsoft Online account. And disable automatic device encryption through BitLocker. Click OK. And it says, hey, we're going to wipe out your USB stick. Yep, that's fine. And this will take 5-10 minutes to complete. And then I'll take the USB stick and we'll go back to that computer. We'll get this thing going yet.
Wow, I'm amazed. This thing has 8 gig of RAM. It's going to run great. And it's detected the SanDisk drive. Okay, so I got into the BIOS by pressing F10 over and over again on this one, but on your system it'll be probably something different. Could be escape, could be the delete key. Let's go set the date and time because we wiped it out.
When we changed the BIOS battery, that's CR2032.
Now let's go to storage and boot order. Great, so it's first going to try the DVD, which we never want, so I'm just going to F5 to get rid of that. I'll plug the USB stick in, power on. And we just click through it. Next, install now. Windows 11 will have all of the drivers for this unit, so I suspect there'd be very little for me to install. Select, I don't have a product key. You have to know what version of Windows this was previously. I believe this was Windows 7 Professional, which was upgraded to Windows 10 Professional, so I'm going to set Windows 11 Professional. If that fails to activate, I'll go back and I'll do Windows 11 Home. Agree. Custom, wipe everything out.
If you have a normal Intel Core i series CPU, you can connect to the internet and be on your way. But if you have Core 2 or older CPU, make sure you click I do not have internet.
All right, so it's up and you're done? No, there's a couple more things you want to do, specifically because this is that old Intel Core 2 Duo CPU. It's not an i series. We need to make sure that this does not upgrade past Windows 11 23H2. We want everything else to be patched, but not the Windows 11 itself. If, however, you're like most people that you're upgrading a Core i series like an i3, i5, i7, then just start your Windows Update run and you're good to go. But in our case, we've got to deal with blocking that update. So there's a little registry entry you've got to make. And type in regedit. And to make this simple, I've got a little file on this USB stick. So I've just copied that to the desktop so you can see it better. And so you can understand it. We'll right click on it and select open with, and I'll choose Notepad. And you see what we have to do is get to HKey local machine, software policies, Microsoft Windows Update. HKey local machine, software, policies, Microsoft, Windows. And if you don't see Windows Update in here, you just have to create it from here out. So to make this faster, I'm just going to double click on this file, but you could just create it manually. I will put this reg file on our website at urtech.ca if you just want to do the same thing. But you can see what it's going to do is simply block Windows 11 from updating. It's been added. You see there's Windows Update, and there it is. So our target release is 23H2, which means this computer will no longer update past this version. However, all of the other add-ons will, .NET, all of the apps, things like that, just not the core operating system. Not the best, but one heck of a lot better than an old Windows 10, and certainly better than a Windows 8 or a 7. All right, so now let's take a quick look at what there is left to update. So I'm going to right click on the start button and select device manager. There's probably a few things here that don't have drivers, but not a whole lot. Network card, video card. If you have a laptop and it's got a wireless card in it, just connect to the internet and run a Windows Update. In my case, however, this thing's old. It doesn't have Wi-Fi and I don't want to go grab a cable. So I'm just going to plug in a USB stick that's actually a Wi-Fi adapter to get on the internet. And I hope that just plug and plays. Now I've got to do an install. Okay, well, I'll do the install. There it is. And boom. we have a network adapter now on this machine. Yay. I will go connect to the internet. Let's go run a Windows update. So right click on the start button, select settings, and go to Windows Update. Check for updates. Boom, all kinds of updates. And you'll notice that they stop at 23H2, which is what we need on this machine. On your machine, hopefully you're getting the most current because your machine is not this completely unusably ancient machine. Although we just proven it's not unusable. Now, once this has found its updates, make sure you scroll down to Advanced Options. Select Receive Updates for other Microsoft products and go down to Optional Updates. There's usually drivers in here. It's odd that there aren't now, but there aren't, so okay, we'll just leave it. And you can see it's downloading. We'll just let this continue and finish off. Yay, just got a video driver. Yeah. And let's play around and make a few other changes while we're waiting here, just because I like to change some of the Windows 11 stuff. I really don't like a few of the settings. So I'm going to right click on the taskbar and select taskbar settings. And I want to turn off the search box. I want to turn off some of the garbage. So I want that off. I want task view off. I want widgets off. Taskbar behaviors. I don't want it at the center. I want it on the left. And I never want to combine. I always want all of the icons to be full size. There we go. And let's go back to Windows Update and just see how that's coming along. Oh, wow, it's really cooking along. Okay, and for fun, let's go to Task Manager and see how it's doing. By the way, you can see this machine is actually doing very well. So I'm not a fan of grouping, so I usually click on the ellipsis in the top right-hand corner and turn off group by type. I don't like it. I like to be able to sort as I see fit. Also, I want to go into the CPU. I right-click, select Change Graph to Logical Processors. Boom, I can see I've got 2 cores. Hee-haw. You can see everything's working here. Let's launch Edge browser. And no, I don't want to sign in. Not for this machine. Oh, that's a good point. That it's asking for what do you like, light or dark? I'll set it to the system default and I'll click next. Click start and type in DARK. I don't like the light mode. Personally, I like dark mode. It's one of the settings I should have changed. So I'll change that, change the entire system to dark. I just find this is a lot easier on my eyes. There we go. Now let's go back to Edge and let's go off to the most amazing website ever, urtech.ca. Bingo. And you can see this is quite responsive. Now let's restart.
So we completed the reboot cycle, did another patch cycle. Here we are ready to go. You can see CPU's fine, memory's fine, hard drive's fine. This 20-year-old machine with an ancient Intel Core 2 Duo CPU is running Windows 11 smoothly and without hiccups. Now, can this machine run games? Well, sure, if you want to play solitaire or, basic things like that, things that you could do back in 2008, 2010, sure. But don't confuse this with a gaming machine. It's not going to do any of those high-end functions. But if you need to surf, check your mail, watch YouTube videos, Netflix, that kind of thing, this thing's awesome. And what did it cost to upgrade? Well, I spent $20 Canadian, so let's call it $15 US, on a solid state SATA disk. $1, we'll say, on a CR 2032 battery that was optional, but you probably should change it. And we got the license for free from Microsoft because this machine had already been running Windows 10 previously. What's the downside? Well, this HP Compaq 8000 from 20 years ago is now stuck at Windows 11 23H2, which is the fall of 2023. Now, that's just the core operating system. All of the, as you've seen here, all of the other functions, programs, and apps are getting updated just fine. And so the argument is, this is dramatically more secure than your Windows 10, Windows 8, or Windows 7 was, even though the core operating system isn't getting patched anymore. And you've kept this machine out of the landfill. Now, what are we going to do with it? We're going to donate this to a needy family. We work with a number of charities, and they'll find a good home for this machine. So hey, look, if you found this video useful, big thumbs up, be super appreciated. Subscribe's also appreciated. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can always get a hold of us directly at www.urtech, that's www.urtech.ca, or you can leave a question or a comment below, and if we don't get back to you, somebody else will, because on YouTube, yeah, everybody's got an opinion. Thanks and have a great day. Bye-bye.